And welcome back to Pokemon Violet. This is episode 55. I'm Umbrenero, and we're finishing the classes we have left. So, let's get to it. Alright, so we're gonna go take math with Miss Time. Since we are kind of in a grinding area for the series, I figure might as well get these classes done so we don't have to worry about them later. Hello everyone, let's have a fun class today. Alright, I know it was a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like, but today we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal with probability on a regular basis? Pokemon moves generally have a property called accuracy. Tackle is 100, so if you tackle 100 times, you should expect to hit it 100 times. Hypnosis, 60% accuracy. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger but less accurate moves, you're already studying probability. Let's see, perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be good examples for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90, its accuracy is 100. Hydro Pump's accuracy is only 80, but when it hits, it's 110. So, between Surf and Hydro Pump, which move would you want to use yourselves? You know, it depends on the situation. Oh my, I see you're always considering various possibilities. I may have made it sound like there's a correct answer here, but there's not. You're free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP or number of targets hit may make some moves more suited to certain situations. However, trading accuracy for power, or vice versa, is purely a matter of preference. The Surf versus Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for quite some time. Personally, I'm more invested in debating the Rock-type moves, Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could get really worked up talking about those moves. But, oh my, there's the bell. What a shame. Next class will be the last time together. Alright, so let's go and take our next class. Let's go take history with Miss Ryfort. Yes. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior, Area Zero. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and a brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Aha! Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Umbrenero. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? You know, words are hard today. And also, I was not paying attention at all. Correct. To pick up and remember a term I simply slipped into the flow of lecture. You really are quite the clever one. The correct name for this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is now known as the Violet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Violet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Violet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy on one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh, is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Alright. A little bit more backstory with that stuff. Let's go to the next class. Like I said, we're getting these caught up so that way we are where we need to be. So, battle studies with Dendra. Another day, another round of battle study. Oh, so let's get right to it. I hope you gave auto battles a shot, like we talked about last class. Yeah, I have. Making good use of auto battles will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's also an efficient way to gather the Pokemon materials you need to make TMs at TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machines? Nope, I've never used it. I sure hope so, cause it's pop quiz time. To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. Anyone remember what it is? LP. I've never used them, but I knew what it was. Their correct answer is League Points. You can give LP and Pokemon materials to a TM machine to create TMs, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at a TM machine to get LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking or something like that. I don't want any of you getting involved in bad stuff like that. Got it? Anyway, you can also add TMs that you want to make to your watch list. This will let you keep an eye on the materials you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials, and if you want to get a hold of a lot of materials, you'll have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Alright, so on to the last class for today. We're getting caught up. That's the main point here today. Home ec one more time. Time to begin, class. While you're out performing fieldwork with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you noticed the changes in its coloration? I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battle. They get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I have seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up. Do I do that? Nope. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simple, common sense. While you're having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. I know you can give your Pokemon a bath. I wonder if they ever realize doing that to fire types, you're actually hurting them because water on fire? Or did they never think of that? However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies they don't want scrubbed or that they would rather not get wet. Now, the most important point that I must mention is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Okay, there he goes. He pointed it out. Alright, so I think we are mostly caught up with stuff here at the school. So let's see. We are caught up on classes. Is there anyone that we... Oh my goodness. We have some people to catch up with. Well, let's see who's down here that we can meet up with. There's Rhyfort and Hassel. Let's grab Rhyfort first. Why, it isn't Umbrenero from Class 1A. Are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told you in class? Yes. It is convenient that you would take the bait I presented in class. A vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After obtaining these 4 treasures, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokemon. As these Pokemon were passed from human hand to human hand as treasures, they slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of the king at that time, they awakened as disasters and began to rampage out of control. The king called for the renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and, after a fierce battle, these incarnations of disaster were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So, what do you think? Would you say the story is just make-believe? No, it's true. Very astute of you. I have read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the like. There is much to support the truth of this story. If I am able to prove the story's veracity myself, I will be sure to let you know. There we go. See, building the bonds with some of these teachers is helpful. Alright, let's talk to Hassel quick. Oh, why, hello there, young Umbrenero. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought and didn't notice your approach. I feel I must again apologize for what transpired in the schoolyard. What are you talking about? I am of course referring to how I rather suddenly had to take my leave while we were still engaged in conversation. That woman who showed up is a dragon tamer, and a relative of mine, I might add. You see, I come from a very long line of trainers who specialize in dragon-type Pokemon. There was a child in our family who was expected to stand at its head and lead it to greatness. But the young lad, rebellious little fellow that he was, ran away from home one day. He made quite the show of it too, swearing he'd make a living with music. A lot happened since then, and now he's the art teacher and Elite Four member before you. After I so rudely took my leave during our last conversation, my dear relative encouraged me to give up teaching and return home at last. I have been told the current leader of my family, that is to say my father, is in poor health. But I do apologize. Perhaps I am not cut out for teaching after all. What sort of teacher grumbles on and on at his own student? My dear Umbrenero, you have no idea how much your words mean to me. Thank you so very much. Alright, we made Hassel feel better. And before we go find the other teachers and people that we need to talk to, we're gonna call it an episode right here. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!